It's time for 31 Days of Shooters. Ho, ho. So, lots of stuff to talk about. Not too much time, but I wanted to do 31 Days of Gradius, and I told Luke there aren't 31 Gradius games, so what do I do? He's like, let's make 31 Days of Shooters. It's like, oh, you are the man. So, this is the Gradius block. I've already beaten the first 2 games, and lots of stuff to talk about. But first, boom, we've got some Jim Beam Apple. Whoa, that was loud. Glass table. We've got a Name Your Poison shot glass here from Hawaii, Skull and Crossbones. So, hopefully I can get this done in one take, because if I gotta do more than a couple of takes, that's gonna be bad, and nobody wants to see that. So, okay, 31 Days of Shooters, here we go. Okay, so like we said, that was a Jim Beam Apple. Something we do with some regularity at game night. And like I said, hopefully I get this in one shot. But yeah, 31 Days of Shooters. They are not shoot 'em ups. They're not shmups. Halo is a first-person shooter. Gears is a third-person shooter. These are shooters. Old school shooters. You can have horizontal, you can have vertical, you can have stationary, and we'll get into all of that in due time. But we're going to start off with my favorite shooter, and I only had 5 growing up, which was 5 or 6, which was totally weird. Galaga's the one I'm not sure about, whether I owned it or not. But I had Gradius and Xevious on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and Gradius 3 and Super R-Type on the Super Nintendo. And what is the 5th one that I'm missing? I don't remember right now. But anyway, that's not important. What is important is we're going to boom NES hard, as they say. Old school Gradius from Konami. And I freaking love this game. What's up with this dog? This is actually printed onto the box. It's not an added sticker. So that's so weird. Original goods. Ka-Ataru. So, Speedo Kuji. Okay, so I guess you could have won some original merchandise with the store Kuji if you bought the game back in 1986. I have no idea. Here's the back. What do we got there? Yeah, there's the Stonehenge stage, there's the first volcano stage, there's the, I call it the uterus boss. And why would you show the final boss on the back of the box? What, Konami, dude? What? That makes no sense. Anyway, cartridge has the same artwork as the box, of course. Here's the manual. Take a quick look inside here. You got some story there on the first real page there, although they're labeling that as page 2. Wow. So who says you can't put a bookmark between odd and even numbered pages? Look at that. How to play, you got controls, boom. Same basic stuff. Then it's got the power-up system, so it explains that and shows you your options and other stuff. But yeah, I just love this freaking game, and it's not impossible to beat without using the Konami code, but it's really, really hard. I found during my playthrough just a few days ago that I was hitting the walls more than I was dying to enemies. So, yeah, what is it? Voiced by his own petard is the saying. There's some enemies. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to work on that and get my 1 credit clear. Because, yeah, the first stage is pretty easy. You can make it through, at least get you know, you need the double for that stage. If there's land on top and land on the bottom, you're gonna want the double. If there's nothing on top that you gotta kill, stick with the laser because it's super powerful, especially against these annoying things. And of course the classic big core. Who can forget that? But yeah. Oh, there's some tips too. Tells you about different enemies and how to fight them. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So whoa. And there's some stamp. This was purchased September 1st, 61. So show us 61 would have been September 1st, 1986. Wow. In Shinjuku. That is crazy. That is crazy. Okay, wow. Some history I didn't even know here. So that is the first game. Again, I loved that growing up. Difficult as hell, but we did beat it with use of the code. And then, oh my god, Saturday came and I played Gradius on the PC Engine and it blew my freaking mind. If you think this game is good, this is either arcade perfect or better, because I don't know if the Boneyard stage is in the arcade, but this is the version you want to play. Holy crap. I can't believe I've been playing the second best version of the game, which is fantastic. But I've been playing it for, you know, 1988. Dodgers won the World Series and I got my Nintendo Entertainment System. So, at least for 34 years. Well, around 33, 34 years I've been playing on the Nintendo. And this version just blew my freaking mind. Same artwork. On the back you'll notice the hue cards have this. And they also have this sticker that goes around here. This, I've seen this damaged on some auctions. So you do want to be a little bit careful with that. But it should come with this nice sleeve. Or if not, they have foam padding. And that's a hue card on the front, hue card on the back. So really interesting, this system. And yeah, for some reason my PC Engine Duo was not working when I tried to play this. Then I remembered, oh, luckily I have a PC Engine. So I dug that thing out, popped in the card, and it worked, and I beat it. You've got like the survey here. So this is a really complete version. I didn't even think about that. Konami PC Engine Games, and they're gonna advertise Gradius itself, so you can obviously tell they're throwing this into every one of their games. Life Force and Parodius Da. So that's pretty cool. And the manual, not too much different. How to handle your hue card. They've got they're explaining the system and the ranking system here. Don't know if you can see that too well, but then they go through some of the enemies and pretty much all of the stages here. And the big Viper, hey, I tried my best. I guess I should have looked at some of the other artwork, but I was using the Gradius 3/4 cover design, sort of manipulating that. And actually, yeah, this shirt, the Bennett shirt, this was also a game night product, because there's a game called TKO in Jackbox games where you you draw a shirt and then you type some Bennett. Yeah, you type the sayings or catchphrases or whatever you want to type. And then the third person combines the drawing and the saying to create something either really good or really funny. And I drew the Gradius design because I had played that previously at game night, early in the evening. And then someone said Bennett, and someone had the genius to put it together. And it's like, wow. I knew from that moment that I needed this shirt for 31 days. So I got some paint. I got a black t-shirt, and a couple of days ago I drew this up. Which is why this is not coming out on the 1st, because I had to let the paint dry. And then there was also recording time, and I wanted to see Dragon Ball Super, all that good stuff. Anyway, did I finish my thoughts on Gradius? Probably not, because, like I said a little bit earlier, I didn't know that I was playing the inferior version of the game. That game is fantastic, but the PC Engine version just blew my freaking mind. This is amazing. You got the PC Mini. I think it was available on. Oh God, yeah. See, gotta be careful. That's already bubbling, and I'm not even mishandling this. You gotta. I think was it on the Wii when they brought the TurboGrafx games over. Anyway, this is the definitive version. That's the one you want to play. Of course, if you can't play it, this game is still fantastic. Unlike the port of the next game. And Gradius Gopher, I did get my Duo working. It was a problem with some corrosion on the cables, but I switched those out thanks to some great advice from Luke Morse 1. Big ups to my boy again. And yeah, I played this fantastic game, hard as balls. I was playing on normal, and I died, and it said, you need to practice. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's rough, but yeah, it's true. Okay. Yeah, so then I went into settings, and you'll want to, if you're totally new to the game, you're going to want to put continues on. I don't think you need to ratchet up the lives with the continues on, because I put mine all the way up to 7, but then I found times during the boss rush where, you know, I died because the rotating core with the shields is a total bitch, and yeah, so then I had 6 lives that I could not use the Konami code for, and you know, I just had to die and die and die. Or I tried my best. You can kill some of the red things, and if you can get an option and get that behind you, then you can avoid the swarm of the little things. If you play Gradius, you know what I'm talking about. They're in practically every game. But I mean, it's brutal, but it's not completely unfair. And then just dodging the missiles, that is such a pain. Because the shields come and you have to hit it right there, but the missiles are coming from the top, the missiles are coming from the bottom. You gotta get right in between them so you don't die. And the missiles also block the shots, so if those don't get in there and they get blocked by the shield, it just takes forever. That is a stupid boss. I hate it. But also, a lot of the bosses here, I noticed, were reused in Gradius 3, and which I grew up with. So that sort of, it lowers Gradius 3 a little bit, in my opinion, or knocks some of the nostalgia off, because they came here first, and I thought they were awesome back then for 3, but now they're still awesome, but not quite as awesome because they were already done here. Kind of like when I played Symphony of the Night, and I'm like, that's my jam! They had this one song, but then I played Rondo of Blood, and it's like, oh, well, or Dracula X for people in the know. But yeah, I played Rondo, and they had the same tune, and I was like, oh, but that was my jam in Symphony of the Night, but it was already used. It sort of just brought that down a little bit. But, again, fantastic game. Beat this yesterday. Oh, God, that first boss is so tough. On normal. If you put everything down to easy, it's completely manageable. But you don't get the best ending. I saw one credit clear of somebody on professional mode. It's like, dude, you're a beast. And the option eaters, they'll come in. Apparently, they don't come in if you have only 3 options. So that could be a pro tip in some of the games. Not all of the games work the same way. But if you're only at 3, then you'll just have that. And those bastards, oh my god. So they will eat say you have 4 options, okay? You come in, you like this, it comes in and eats that one, boom, 3 options. That's no problem. Let's say you don't maneuver correctly or you're in tight quarters, as you often are. So let's say it comes in and you're trying to get away and it eats the second option. It does not eat the second option. It eats the second option and everything after that. So you're stuck with only one option. Or if it nails your first option, you have no options. So that thing is evil in this game. I don't quite remember how it works in the other games, but yeah. So Gradius 2, really difficult, really brutal. It says you need some practice. It's like, wow, okay, bro, just chillax. You know, I'll try and get good during these 31 days, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so Gradius 2, great game. You should play it. Okay, so next up we've got Gradius 3. Boom! And you know, I thought it was great. I don't understand what the complaining was about. Oh, there's slowdown. It's like, okay, but that kind of helps you because you're trying to avoid bullets, and if it slows down a little bit, you can sort of see that better. Obviously, full speed would be good. But here's a cover there. And shooting Kokoni. Something Maru. You can see the bubble stage there, the desert stage. Yeah, the dragons are also in the desert stage. There's some more Moai heads, classic Easter Island statues. And the biology stage was there too. What is... Oh. Might do for some cleaning, actually. But, okay. Cartridge, there's the Big Viper again. Yeah, on the cover of the Super Famicom cart. Got the manual here. You got contents, a little bit of story. Again, you're fighting the Bacterian Empire who are about to invade. But this game, actually, again, Gradius 2, I guess was the first one where you could actually select your rows here and then select the type of force field or shield you wanted. And again, they upped that. So they brought back the weapon select here, which in this case is always speed up. You got missile, you got two-way missile, you got the spread bomb, and you got photon torpedo. And then you can do double, like I said, shoot diagonally up, tail gun, a vertical, or back double. So depending on the situation or your desires, you choose which one you want. You got laser, which is okay. Ripple, I guess people like Ripple, and it looked pretty good in Gradius 2. I didn't really like it in this game. Sea laser, I did like. I think Cyclone, it's just a laser, but it's constant and spins. Twin laser is alright. And then Forge Field. Ooh, typo. And they also added the exclamation point for Mega Crush. But what was the best part was edit mode. So you can come through here and select which ones you wanted if you didn't like a preset. Again, it's got all the options I just mentioned and the energy laser, which was interesting. And it's got option formations. So you got the snake option where it follows you. You've got the flank option where you can get two on either side. And you got the rotating option where it rotates in a circle around you. And I think I used that the most, kind of acting as a shield back in the day. And you can choose speed down. I don't know why you would need that unless you accidentally hit the button and use the speed up a little bit too much. Whatever that option is, I think that's option freeze perhaps, or unfreeze. I have no idea. Full barrier that restores the full force field, that's useful. And the Mega Crush is useful too. I don't think it's useful on bosses, but then again, I was never an expert. So, and then it goes and explains how the power-ups work. Spread bomb and photon torpedo being interesting. Small spread, Hawkwind missile, normal double, tail gun. So yeah, it just goes through everything there. And like I said, normal laser versus the cyclone laser. Cyclone is what I want anyway. Yeah, rotating option formation. Remain option. Yeah, player no. Genki. Oh, something. Your option. Yeah, I have no idea. Unless that brings your option up to full, but that sounds kind of weird to me. Okay, then it introduces all the stages for some reason. Oh, those little arms, that's another thing. Again, this being not arcade perfect, you can only have 2 arms on the brain amoeba type things. But this one you can have 3 or 4. And I was like, oh my god, they just won't die. And yeah, you want lasers, at least for that in the original game. Then you got character introductions. Okay, so, well, that says stage 10, but that doesn't look like the one with the boss at the end. So there's some characters, some more characters. Great artwork in this one, and it's full color. So they really did a good job here. And then they list all of the bosses, including the boss parade, which also started in Gradius too. So that's really shocking. Yay, the armored core, or no, hardcore. That stupid thing. But you can even see the final boss here. It's like, why would you put the final boss in the manual? Oh, what are you thinking, Konami? But I mean, few minor complaints aside, they made some fantastic games back in the day. And that brings me to another point I wanted to talk about, is that they renewed the trademark for Gradius recently. So, as per Castlevania Collection and Castlevania Advanced Collection and Contra Collection and even Castlevania Requiem, I'm expecting, and I probably should have saved this for later in the video, but I'm expecting a Gradius collection sometime in the next year or 2. Probably Limited Run Games is going to make the collector's edition, so of course I'll be getting that. But yeah, I would hope that they put both the regular, the NES version here, and the PC Engine version, if not both of those plus the arcade version, okay, for all of these. So we would get and that's what I meant about this, the NES port being the inferior version of Gradius 2, because I looked at some of the color palettes and they are disgusting. I gotta be honest. I mean, I'm sure the gameplay is great. I'm sure it's the same great Gradius, experience. But some of the stages look so bland, and like a puke green color for one of them is like, I am so glad I played this version. Or maybe I should have played that first and then played this version. But there's no way I can go back and play the Famicom version of Gradius 2 now after having played this one. But yeah, so that could be up to 3 games there, 3 games there, 6 games, 1, 2 for 3, I think 4 had 2 as well. So that's 10. Gaiden makes 11, and then Gradius 5 is a PS2 game, so it's debatable whether they throw that on there. Plus, there's all the portable games, Nemesis, the MSX games. So there's a lot to choose from our Gradius collection. But hopefully, Konami make it happen. Hook us up. Okay, and this is what I said about Gradius 3 Arcade, because this and 4 were put on to the PlayStation 2. And it's so sad because I got this version and I didn't play it. And then 5 was released. It's like, well, I should buy 5. But I haven't played these yet. So I didn't buy it. And then I guess I sort of paid the regular price I would have paid on auctions when I did get 5. But it would have been nice to have bought it at the time. But anyway, we got Gradius 3 here. Can you see anything there on the back? Doesn't look like it. It says shooting game. It's a shooter. Look at that. You got the disc there. Looking pretty good here. Take the manual out. And yeah, again, I tried to model the shirt mostly after this version, based off the cover, because I didn't open it. Because sometimes I don't think about that stuff. Gradius 3, Gradius 4, you get to select it on the screen, of course. There are the controls. Skip. Come on. What am I looking for? There we go. If you can see stage 4, it's sort of a cave-like thing, and sort of, I guess, Star Fox style, where you're following the ship flying through that. So that's the only big difference between that and the Super Nintendo version, which instead has the high-speed Grease Lightning stage, which I thought was freaking awesome. Not that difficult once you remember the route, and just get 2 speed-ups, you'll be fine. But they also had a Grease Lightning stage in Gradius 2, so again, it's like, oh, but you did that before the game I actually played? Ooh. So, yeah, it just feels a little bit off. Now, ex post facto, again, it explains all the power-ups. And, oh, look at that. That is some artwork. Booyah. And then it goes into Gradius 4, shows the stages. Now, that one I have not played, so I'm really looking forward to that. More power-up explanations there. Don't know if it's worth framing that so you can see. And then memory card storage and all that good stuff. But yeah, really looking forward to the arcade version of Gradius 3. And my first time playing Gradius 4. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Then, actually Gradius Gaiden came between 3 and 4. So I will be playing that 3, Gaiden, then 4. Got some artwork on the back, and this, supposedly, according to the shooter community, is one of, if not one of the top 2 Gradius games, and one of the top 25 shooters of all time. You get to choose your ships: Big Viper, Jade Knight, Lord Gradius from Salamander or Life Force. And I really can't see because the compact disc digital audio thing is in the way there. But let's open it up. Oh, a little dirty there. Might want to try and clean that off. It did come with the Obi, and that's what you want if you want a complete game. And the postcards and all the other stuff. I don't care about that. Obi I do care about because it's part of the packaging. But Gradius Gaiden Boom, which as we know means side story, unless it's Ninja Gaiden, and then that's the whole story. But that was 31 days, a long time ago. I've got videos, be sure to check them out. Again, controls, how to play. I think this was praised for the colorful stage design, which is a little bit different from the previous games. How to save, yada yada, how to power ups. I mean, you know, if you played any one of the previous Gradiuses, you know how to do that. Okay, there we go. Big Viper, Lord British, air conditioners blowing stuff around, Jade Knight, and Falchion Beta. That's what we were missing there. So, and then stages, you can see it's already a lot more vivid than some of the other games, especially that boss. That looks mean. But, you know, great stage design throughout the series. I mean, I just love me some Gradius. And why? They're only touting Gradius 1 and 2 here, but not 3. That's interesting. Even though I know 3 came out first. Well, before this. But yeah, so Gradius Gaiden, ooh, Obi. Looking forward to playing that again for the first time. Now, none of these I bought specifically for 31 days, unlike 1 or 2 of the games I'll be showing you later. But I just wanted to complete my Gradius collection, and I was like, hey, let's do 31 days of Gradius. I'm like, can't do it. 31 days of shooters, let's do it. Okay, and last here, we've got the logo change. First of all, that's the first thing we noticed, the red Konami. Gradius 5. There's the back. Boom. It's suitable for all ages, so it's also the first rated game. You'll notice that prior to that, there was nothing on the box, as with most of the games. Very plain. Gradius 5 on the disc. Whoa, Nelly. Okay. So we're gonna quit. We got a Neo Contra. And here, wow. Okay. The survey postcard thing. Gradius Neo. Now, what is Gradius? Yeah, Keitai demo, but it doesn't look like the phone games. Yeah, Gradius Neo Imperial. I was going to talk about that. That's the one. I did buy that for the cell phone. You get to control the big core, and then you're fighting against the Bacterian Empire yourself. So that was so freaking cool. One of the power-ups is not shield, but it's to replace your core. That was freaking cool. And it's on your Galake, so Galapagos Keitai. This one was, I think it was developed by Cave. Is it Cave or is it Treasure? God, somebody's gonna read me in the comments for that. Come on, show me the developer. Oh, you bastards! It just says Konami. God. Well, anyway, the weird thing is that the developers were actually ex-Konami employees who had worked on Gradius, so they. Not only did they know what they were doing when they were making their own great games, when they were hired to do this for outsourcing, they brought all of that knowledge back into the Gradius, which they already knew about. And apparently, yeah, like I said, with Gaiden, this is also one of the most popular, or top 25 shooters of all time. Really, the manual doesn't tell you much. You have freeze option, direction, spacing, rotating. I think how it works is you can control the lasers with the right stick. Don't quote me on that because I haven't played it. Oh, I could look at the manual real quick, but and that's just so freaking cool. Although it might be a little busy, so I don't know how that's analog mode switch. No, I don't know how that would actually work, or if you can set it to auto shoot. Anyway. But we got the history of the Big Viper. Another thing I could have used when I was making my shirt. But yeah, not too bad. See, it's a bit angular. I think the limitations of the hardware may have made it seem pointier than it is. Some interesting art right there. Gradius 5. Skip. Ooh, that's pretty cool. And anything else? Some more pretty cool artwork there. Yep, so again, looking forward to finishing all of these. And yeah, hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. But that's Gradius. I love this series. It's my favorite shooter. And that's why I'm starting off 31 days of shooter with Gradius in the Gradius block. So yeah, hope you're enjoying the start of 31 days. Hope you play some shooters with me. And I don't know, you feel free to take a shot if you want to. But until next time, thanks for watching and have a good one.